Hey, good evening, Adams family. My name is Renee Valentine, and I'm the local emergency coordinator assigned to your locality through CERT. I was recently going through your file, and I noticed that you and your family are located in the locality of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Hey, that's great. I have family from that area, so I understand it pretty well in depth. Just for your situational awareness, your hurricane season does start June 1st, so something to be aware of. For situational awareness, I'm going to be covering my strategy and plan for this upcoming hurricane season for you and your family in 4 coordinated points. The first is going to be preparing a plan. 2, establishing your emergency supplies. 3, ensuring transportation readiness. And 4, ensuring your home readiness. So diving right into it. When we think about discussing your overall emergency plan for hurricane season, we're going to really deviate between 2 separate sectors, whether you choose to remain or evacuate. The majority of this planning here is going to be decided by the requirements of you and your family, as well as the local leaders in your area. For instance, if your governor declares a state of emergency and mandates that you must evacuate the area, you must evacuate the area, or deem yourself susceptible to those risks associated with not evacuating. Additionally, with step 1 in preparing the plan, some things of note are going to be the number of individuals you have in your family, so accounting for the amount of supplies you're going to need in general, establishing that supply kit, and understanding the nearest shelter should you have to evacuate, and also understanding your home residence if a stay-in-place order is also in effect. Moving on to point number 2, emergency supplies in general. So this really encompasses a 2-month food and water supply, medicine, additional power sources, emergency power sources such as generators or solar panels, important documents to include such as medical documentation, passports, things of that nature. So these are things you just want to be tracking on as far as emergency supplies. The go-to here is many individuals think that having enough food and water should suffice, but we tend to forget a lot of these critical elements such as, do I have an extra generator to supply my house with the necessary power required, and do I have my passport and my critical medical document that may or may not state that I'm diabetic. These are just some things to keep in the back of your brain housing group as you progress. And then pretty straightforward into the point, ensuring your transportation readiness. So is my day-to-day car able to get me from point A to point B? And if not, what is my tertiary backup plan? Is there a secondary car? What is the most reliable car? So in terms of an emergency, depending on what the situation is in your local area, it might behoove you to choose that 4-wheel drive vehicle or that lifted vehicle to kind of assist you in moving through the rapid waters that are in your area. Again, very situationally dependent. And then my last and final point is going to be your home readiness. And again, this kind of ties it all back into point 1 with, in preparing a plan, are you choosing to remain or to evacuate? At the end of the day, whether you choose to remain or evacuate, you want to ensure that you're arguably your biggest asset, your biggest sense of equity as far as what your net worth is going to be your home. So in thinking about that, we want to think about asset protection, and really it's going to come down to, is the area around my home clear? Is all the chairs and the large machinery away from the house? Are the windows and doors boarded and are covered? Is the power turned off? Should I stay to remain? Should I remain in place so that the power and the chance of electrocution is no longer a risk? And then additionally, again, if it's going to be a long-term item, do I have enough pure water, clean water source to supply me through the duration of the storm, barring a long-term outage of clean water and or power. So those are some things, again, Adam's family touch on. Remember, prepare a plan, emergency supplies, ensure your transportation readiness, and home readiness. Thank you. If you have any questions for me, you can just respond to this email here. I'll be standing by. Thank you. Have a good night.